Hi everybody, and welcome to Stamping with Tanya Badalka. Today I'm going to show you how to create these cards here that is in this month's Paper Pumpkin Kit. So this is for June 2021. It's called The Adventure Begins. And so let's get started. We're going to do this card right here. So in the kit, the card comes laying down like this. So I've already bone folded it. And then there are some pieces in here that are like this, and in here that you lightly punch out with your fingers, or you can usually take your pick tool or tweezers or whatever to get it out. So on here there is some light stamping. So I'm going to ink up my ink pad, and so I do have the full ink pad of the garden green, so I'm just going to use that instead of the inking spot. And I'm going to place this Let Your Light Shine like that on the circle. Then you are going to ink up, just a second. I'm just going to wipe this quickly with a little baby wipe because I don't want to get ink everywhere all over me. And then I'm going to ink up this tiny little butterfly, and it says on the card there's one over here and there's one over here in the little spotlights. And then there is one more way down over here, like that. Okay, so I believe we've done our stamping. So in the instructions that come in the kit are also step by step of what to do. So let's just take a look. So we folded our card just like we were supposed to. Then we inked up Let It Shine. Then we inked up the little dragonfly. So it looks like all we have to do are put some, it says to put some dimensionals on the bottom of your little circle, because if you put them up here, when you go to open your card, it will be stuck to the card like that. So we're going to place them on the bottom half of our card. And I'm using just a full sheet of dimensionals that I already have in my stash, instead of using the ones that came in the kit. But use whatever you have or whatever you like. You can also glue these flat down to your card. It's totally up to you, but I'm going to try and make it how they have it here. So this one says just like that. And so this card is all done. So let's move on to, let's see which card I have next. Let's go in ahead and do this card. So this is the camper card up at the top here. And so this is nicely folded for us. And then we're going to fold this back and use our bone folder to give it a nice little crease. And then what you're going to do is, like on the other card, you're just going to lightly tear these off. You can keep this as a scrap paper. You can toss it for recycle, whatever you prefer. I don't think I'm going to use these little bits for anything, so I'm just going to place them aside for right now. And then there's one more little bit here at the bottom, just right there. Pull that out. And then I'm going to press this one more time. So I don't know if anybody is aware, but in the instructions there is a ruler in metric. Nope, sorry, just in inches along the bottom. So if you do need to measure anything, there are measurements alongside your instructions. So if you are taking your kit to go, then it's quite easy for you to do that, because you really, all you need is maybe a pair of scissors or take your pick tool. So let's do this card. So it says in here that we are going to take the tree. So let's get that ready. I'm going to take my little butterfly off from the last card, and I'm also going to take my greeting off. And it says to get the tree with the little lines on it, like that. I'm going to place this to the side because I'm going to stamp on this little tree that I've punched out from the kit. And then I'm going to grab my ink, my garden green, and I'm going to ink this up. And it says to stamp on there. Give that a nice press in there. And like that. So there's my tree with my detail. So let's look at our instructions. Okay, so with number 2 we did the tree, and then it says to also let the adventure begin. So I'm just going to take my little wet wipe here and clean that off and place it aside. And this one says let the adventure begin. Let the adventure begin is right here. So how I mount my words for myself straight on the block, because sometimes these clear polymer ones can be quite tricky, is I line it up on my grid paper with the bottom there, and then I just take my block and smush it down. It's really, really easy that way. And so this one says take the pendant one. I'm just going to clean this off, because sometimes when they make these stamps they put a chemical on them so that it makes them, but for stamping the first time can be quite interesting. So then I'm going to place that down there. Ta-da! As my little boys would say. I'm going to put my ink pad away because I think we are done stamping portion. So then this one says to put some dimensionals, 3 dimensionals on the back of that label. And then we're going to bring our card in, and it says to place 3 little glue dots on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a little bit of my normal adhesive, my Stampin' Seal, and then I'm going to place this like it says. I'm going to place it right behind up here. There, and glue that down. And then I'm going to put my saying on. So the Paper Pumpkin Kit is a nice little way of creating every month if you don't want to have a lot of supplies, and you also get a nice stamp set every month and a Stampin' Spot, so that's kind of nice to add to your collection of supplies. So it says to place 1 over here, and then 1 of these yellow ones down over here, and a little blue one over here. And there are 3 more, or 2 more little blue ones. So 1 over there, and where else is the other one? Right there, right there, right there, right there. Let's just place 1 anywhere. Right there. So there's that little trailer card. It's really cute. Okay, so let's move on to our last card that we have in the kit. So this one here is this landscape, the mountains. And so I'm going to gently fold this back, and I'm going to press it nicely flat with my bone folder, and then gently, like the other cards, remove this piece in the middle like this. Ta-da! I'm going to place that aside. I don't think we need that. So let's just look at our instructions. So it says fold the paper, again get a little tree, and you're going to, what does it, oh, we do this. We use this one, and we use this same tree that we used before. Where is the block? And we're going to need a different saying as well, but we'll get that in a little bit. So I'm going to place my tree on the block, and we're going to place we're going to stamp this on the tree like this. Okay, now this part at the bottom will be covered up. So now we are going to get our greeting. I'm going to place this back on the sheet here so that I don't lose it. And we need dream big and high. Where's that one? Dream big. It's on the side here. Okay, so I'm going to line this up on my graph paper so that I get this straight on my block. And then I'm going to take, oh, maybe I should have masked that. Okay, so don't do what I'm doing. I'm just going to just take that off and flip this around. And I'm going to place the sayings here. And then I'm going to rig it so that it's okay. Because I should have masked it. Oops, I didn't get any adhesive on that. I just want very little adhesive on there. There. So then it says to glue this down to here with a couple dimensionals. So all I'm going to do is grab my dimensionals, place one on the tree, and I'm going to place 3 on the band. So when you go to stamp this at home, before you do this part here, what you're going to do is put a scrap piece of paper like this, stamp your tree, and then pull this off. It's called masking. So that way you don't have this problem like I did here. So we are going to place this straight on our card like this, and then I'm just going to place my little tree like that. And then it says to place a couple of these sequences, so let's do that. One over here, one down here. It says, I'm going to put it on the white. It says to put it on the green or the blue, but I did mine a little different for the greeting because that's just the way it happened. And 1, 2, 3. I'm going to place one on a tree. There. So that is the third and final card from this month's Paper Pumpkin Kit. I hope you've enjoyed today's little video. Please like and subscribe. This is the June 2021's Paper Pumpkin Kit. So there are the 3 cards that are all finished. They're really, really pretty. Please like, subscribe, and share. Happy stamping, and enjoy your day.